All right, we're here in the grand spectacle at the University of Houston, right outside of downtown Houston, as Bill Clinton is getting ready to come speak to the mobs, to the masses, tell them how much he loves them and hear how much they love him. So we might try and get a couple of comments from the crowd. As you can see around me, everybody's pretty excited for the original snake oil salesman to come into town and offer them some more hope. So let's see what happens. Let's talk to some people.
And I think they'd both be better alternatives to what we have right now.
Right on. Well, what do y'all think about the fact that the Clintons vacation with the Bushes? Does that ever bother y'all?
They are part of the establishment, which is, I think you can't change everything all at once. And Bill and Hillary are definitely part of the establishment. I think that's why you see a backlash against the Clintons right now, is because they are part of this establishment.
Why do you like Hillary Clinton?
Because she's a woman.
So why did you come tonight, Myra?
I wanted to come out and support Hillary Clinton.
You wanted to support Hillary Clinton? No, that's awesome. That's awesome. What do you think about Rush Limbaugh supporting Hillary now? What's up with that?
I don't know nothing about that. It don't sound right, but you know.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that one out too. That doesn't make much sense.
He just talk stupidities. I don't think so.
What would you say are the fundamental differences between Hillary Clinton and John McCain?
Well, there's a lot of differences. For one thing, she's going to stop the 8 years of the Bush that we had there, and McCain's going to represent 8 more years of that. But that's the main difference that I can see, is that we don't want 8 more years of Bush.
Why do you think Rupert Murdoch's supporting Hillary Clinton?
Because she's the best.
She's the best. So, is that why you think Rush Limbaugh's supporting her too?
Rush has a lot of confidence in her.
So to me, a presidential candidate is most important for the veto pen and the Supreme Court justice nomination process. And so that's where those two issues come in. I see those as two of the pivotal issues of our day. I think that women's rights are being chipped away as their rights to have an abortion at their will are taken away bit by bit.
You don't think our civil liberties being eroded, the destruction of the Fourth Amendment, the police state, the technocratic control grid that's been built around everything and is being implemented now, you don't think that might be a little more important or pressing an issue?
Well, not for me, no. And the reasons are complex, and a lot of this has to do with what I've experienced in my life. I mean, someone who's grown up poor is going to have poverty play a much larger role in their elections. I grew up with a mother that worked for Planned Parenthood. I spent my days volunteering with her and seeing these women that were being harassed when they came to the clinic to have procedures done. So to me, that's a defining issue. I don't think it's the most important issue, it's just an important issue for me.
So have you heard of Margaret Sanger? Do you know a lot about Margaret Sanger?
Of course.
What's your opinion of Margaret Sanger?
Well, she started Planned Parenthood, so I admire her a great deal for that. Now, Margaret Sanger had a lot of views which were really quite awful. But then again, if we're going to judge someone based on every view they held, then we would consider our forefathers to be awful. I mean, they were slave owners who would never think of giving a woman a vote, much less the ability.
No, I agree. What I question is the founders of Planned Parenthood and the thinkers, especially in that day, were eugenicists. They blatantly referred to black people as a disease, as a virus that needed to be destroyed, and then all of a sudden they create all these wonderful, loving organizations, to help the black babies die. And I'm not approaching this from a right to life issue. I really am approaching it simply from how questionable that seems to me.
Sure. Well, the aspect of Margaret Sanger that I respect is the pushing forward of birth control, of giving women a choice as to whether or not they became pregnant. I disagree wholeheartedly with these other aspects that you're bringing up. Thomas Edison supported those aspects. You don't see me saying, well, I'm not going to use a light bulb.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'd say it's a little different because, she's directly identified with the social forces that helped create it, but I take your meaning. So we totally branched off into Margaret Sanger. And I mean, again, this is really interesting to me because I respect and understand, what you see as being important, but it's like these social policies that they want to introduce. I truly believe what were the information we're getting out of the Government Accountability Office from the nation's accountants is that the country's broke, and literally we are going into bankruptcy. I mean, that's what the big sell-off to the foreign holders right now is. That's what transnational globalism is, and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton are directly seem to be aligned with that same system. So I find it hard to trust them, and that's why I'm here trying to find out why other people trust them.
So specifically, you're talking about the effects that globalization has on the U.S. economy, for example.
No, because I think you could also argue the effects that it's had on third world economies are as destructive. It's destructive all the way around. The entire system's it's more of a neo-feudal system that seems to be developing. So I mean, yes, we see it here, but we also see worldwide misery, and I think that combined with the technological advances that we're having now represent a scenario for just absolute catastrophe. So what would you say to someone who says that